Hello and welcome to Future Simple Friday Live Episode 2.
That's it.
Which I couldn't even say, so that's a good start. We're out at a meeting today, actually. We've literally just stolen the meeting room after a digital boost session that we've just had. Because we've been working on our own marketing, because it's one of those things that whatever you do for other people, you never do it quite as well for yourself. So We're trying. Yeah. So that's why we have a slightly different environment this week. We're trying to look all clever with the amount of books that we have behind us.
Look clever?
We're clever.
Yeah.
So, right, I've still not got the timer ready. That was supposed to be my learning from last week. Let's set the timer. Just in case anyone hasn't watched this, what we do is we've got a set of questions. We just shuffle these up before we start, and the questions are based on values of the company, things that we do at Future Simple, and things that we're really passionate about, like making mental health a more honest and open conversation. So there'll be a few questions of those in there as well. And we've had a really interesting week, so hopefully we'll have some good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so timer for 10 minutes and start.
Perfect. So me first?
Yeah, go for it.
Magic. Okay. Anything you're looking forward to next week? We've got a lot going on in terms of digital. We've been talking about that today in
surprise in Digital Boost.
this meeting room. So I think getting our teeth into that, all the different things that you can do with digital marketing, especially with our website and with the different products that we're looking to release, it's going to be a really interesting week to sort of delve into the world of digital marketing, which is super convoluted, loads of stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have to make that simple.
Yeah, make that simple. And I just think it's going to be super interesting to do that next week. So I'm really looking forward to diving into that.
I've got another one though. I'm going to add in.
Go for it, yeah.
I am really looking forward to going to the Startup Summit next week on Wednesday. So that should be good. Lots of people there. So if anyone is there and fancies a catch up, let me know. That'd be good. Always open to meeting lots more new and exciting people.
Definitely. And we'll be all over that on social media as well. So give us a follow on socials. To keep up with what Lucinda's up to.
Oh God, I'm so old.
Socials.
Fab, right, my go. Jargon term / abbreviation you've struggled to avoid. I know one that I didn't like today.
Yeah.
But you know what's really bad? I can't actually remember what it was. I hated it so much I've literally blanked it from my memory.
Imagineering. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad one. But I think one that we use a lot that's almost unavoidable is KPIs.
Yeah, KPIs.
It's a real business one.
Totally. But you need to measure what you're doing. So I usually call it like a control or a measure or cause and effect.
Yeah.
What have you done? What effect did it have? But yeah, KPIs. It's a horrible one. Yeah. Imagineer. Oh, no. You go, sorry.
Strangest fact. Okay. So basically, what we've been looking at is strategy and how to keep it simple. And in doing that, a lot of what I've been researching is actually kind of gone into the natural world. So a lot of strategy in the natural world is super simple and almost evolutionary. So there's a particular type of fish called nototenioid fish.
Okay.
And they live in the Antarctic, and they've evolved so that their blood has antifreeze proteins in it. And that is their almost survival strategy. That's occurred through sort of millions of years of evolution to live in a habitat that's almost uninhabitable. So that is my weird and wonderful strange fact.
So we could get non-chemical biological antifreeze, but we'd probably be harming a fish population.
Yeah, which is no.
Catch-22.
Yeah.
That's mad. Learning of the week. Learning of the week. Learning of the week. Oh, I feel like there's actually loads, but which one am I going to choose? I think last week's was everything took longer than you expected. This week's is, it doesn't matter how much you think something is going to fit in one situation, it's probably not going to fit quite as well in another one. So whether you are targeting something for one audience and you think it's perfect for them, as soon as you tailor it and try and move it to another audience, it's going to be different. Or in our instance, no matter how much you make your website look good on desktop, it doesn't work on mobile as well. And mobile is where it always at the minute, but yeah. So learning of the week, yeah, try and think of all the options and see how everything is looking across them all, not just focusing on one.
Nice. Like it. Yeah. A task that has taken longer than you thought.
Oh, that was the one, yeah. That was the...
There you go. I would say social media is a task that has taken a lot longer than I thought it would.
Social media in terms of what, just doing social media or planning for someone in particular?
Planning.
Yeah.
Planning social media. Because at the start, it's about making sure that the messaging is totally on point with that particular brand. And I think actually getting over your sort of the knowledge that you're actually doing it for someone and being confident in that. So initially it takes a lot longer than it maybe should, but then once you've gotten into the swing of it, you're starting to go a lot quicker, and it's a lot more efficient.
I think for you, just coming into kind of working for lots of different clients.
Yeah.
So in the past, I think you just finished your masters, but you've worked for a couple of clients where you've been core on them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't being clients, but that was where you worked. So it's different. It is quite different doing a lot of different tone of voices for a lot of different audiences.
Rather than just focusing on one brand.
Yeah. So you kind of have to change how you speak depending on who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. Which I think in the long term is a real sort of skill for a marketeer.
It just takes a while
but it just takes a while to kind of...
Yeah. That could have been learning of the week as well, couldn't it? Right?
Mm.
Most interesting fact. This is the one you wanted, wasn't it? Most interesting fact.
Oh. Do you remember what I said?
I think it was something about stress. But I don't remember. I don't know.
Should I jump
Yeah,
in?
you go.
Cool. So we've been researching what industries are the most stressful this week.
Yes.
And the research that I undertook, the results were actually quite, well, they weren't what I thought they'd be. So the majority of roles where people had the most stress were in the public domain. So they're like nursing, teaching, social workers, and the like different response teams, so police, ambulance, firefighters. And there were only actually a few that were up there with the most average sick days off with like stress, depression and anxiety in terms of like private companies. So I thought that was really interesting because I thought loads of private companies, their main focus being profit, with loads of kind of
you automatically kind of think of law and all of those stressful positions, and but actually dealing with people is very stressful.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially like if you imagine thinking of nursing and social care, you're having to deal with not only really grumpy people, because especially when we're ill, none of us are at our best when we're ill. And then you've got to cope with death if you formed an attachment with someone. I mean, that's what I always kind of think. Like, my sister's a midwife, and sometimes in past roles and previous life, I've gone, oh my God, I am so stressed about getting an advert out of the door or meeting my deadline. And like, I couldn't work in a life and death. I really couldn't. Yes, my sister's just, she's been nominated for Midwife of the Year.
Congrats to her.
Oh yeah,
that's
wonderful. Really sad though, because it's in a particular awards called the Butterfly Awards.
Okay.
And it's for helping families through bereavement. And so she was nominated for how well she looked after someone who had to go through a stillbirth. And it makes me cry thinking about it. It's horrible. But yeah, so when you think about it like that, then yeah, they are going to be really stressed, really, really stressful places to be. And that's hope we can.
Stressful, but we all appreciate the work that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this?
Next.
Oh, example of something you've kept simple this week. That's a hard one.
It's our thing, isn't it? It really shouldn't be.
Yeah. Something I've kept simple this week. I'd say our planning is much more structured since we've been putting in, like, looking at it very, very regularly, ticking stuff off. So our planning and sort of doing of tasks is no longer complicated. It's really simple.
Yeah,
so I'd say we've kept that simple.
I mean, we have long-term intentions, but we are focusing on, I suppose it's almost like lean and agile in a way, because we've moved from long-term, let's hit these deadlines, to let's look at the next couple of weeks, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, as there key events that we need to be prepping for, let's plan them in, and working on a much more of a kind of agile, what's happening, let's work on it way.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, it's stuck together. Right, okay. How has your...
we finished it?
Yeah.
Let's finish
Started,
it.
so I'll finish. Okay, so how has your mental health been this week? I have had... I think I've probably had a typical business owner week in that I've had some real highs and really felt like we've achieved things. And I've had some really overwhelming moments where I'm just like, how are we going to do all of this? And where's it all going to come from? And how much time is there in the world? And all of those kind of things. So yeah, I think it's definitely been a mix. It's been a bit of a mixed week, but it's probably quite typical nowadays. But yeah, definitely not a worst. There's definitely been worse times. So I think in the whole, it's been a very positive week, but there's still been touches of anxiety and things going on in there. But yeah, cool.
Okay.
So that's us. That's our questions for this week. Again, thank you. You managed to watch the whole thing. We will be next week. We have Nick Murray from Adopt an Intern joining us next Friday. As we've said previously, we're going to be at Startup Summit on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I'm now querying, I think it is called the Startup Summit. I'm pretty sure it's called
the Startup Summit.
I'm now forgetting what it's called, thinking, have I just name dropped the wrong thing? But never mind. So yes, it'd be fantastic to meet as many startups, as many scale-ups, anyone, especially if they need help with the marketing strategy, wink wink. So yes, once again, thank you for watching, and hopefully these will improve with time.
Thank you.